Battle Chess. This is the tutorial, and I am the king. The land you see around me is my kingdom, and my battlefield. Two opposing forces meet on this battleground, but only one can be victorious. There can only be one true king. In early Indian warfare, battles were decided by the death or capture of the king, and this principle was transferred to the chessboard when the game was invented in the early 7th century. As king, I am the most important of all the chessmen. In fact, I am the only indispensable man on the battlefield. But it's not easy being king. In times of war, I have to manage the defense of my realm without playing too active a role that would expose me to danger. My safety is of the utmost importance. Without me, my kingdom is nothing, and all my subjects would be out of a job. In the beginning of the game, I usually play a defensive role, but in the end game, I am more likely to use my considerable striking power to defend my realm when necessary, except when I'm castling, which the rook will explain later. I can only move one square at a time in one direction. In medieval times, it was said that the king's move and power of capture are in all directions because the king's will is law. However, a king doesn't get to be my age by doing stupid things. So, I never move directly into a clear line of attack from an enemy piece. Such a movement would put me in check, which is an immediate and direct threat to my existence. Whenever an enemy piece is rude enough to put me in check, I must immediately take care of the situation. I can move out of check in one of 3 ways. By putting one of my loyal defenders in position to block the attack. By moving to a safe square. Capturing the enemy piece that threatens me. At the end of most chess games, a situation occurs which is known as checkmate. Checkmate is an attack upon the king from which there is no possible escape. While a check is merely a threat to a king, a checkmate is the pronouncement of his certain doom. For example, this is a checkmate situation. This is the sort of situation that really makes me nervous. I'm lucky this isn't a real game. Sometimes the 2 opposing chess kingdoms can become so exhausted from their tactical and strategic maneuvers that neither one can annihilate the other. In that case, no winner can be determined, and the game ends in a draw. This is frustrating for everyone, but it doesn't happen often. It may interest you to know that 2 kings can stand on a chessboard in 3,612 legal positions. However, even though I am powerful, it's not safe for a king to stand around by himself. One final note about the movement of the king, which hasn't changed much in 13 centuries, is that he can capture a queen, but he can never get close enough to threaten her. However, a queen can constantly threaten and harass the king. Nag, 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 nag. All the time. She never lets me get any peace. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go pass a few laws and tax a few peasants.
From a Western Arabic word that means chariot. The chariot was one of the 4 divisions of the Indian Army. The others were the infantry, the cavalry, and the elephants. I have also been called the castle, the tower, the rector, the marquis, and the boat. But if you call me anything else but a rook, I'll smash you. I am second only to the queen in terms of my power of movement. I can move parallel to the sides of the chessboard, across any number of unoccupied squares, in any file or rank. I can move forward, backwards, or sideways, but not diagonally. If an enemy is in my path, I can smash him and take his place. At the beginning of the game, I can't do much, because everyone is in my way. I hate that. I want to smash things. I'm best at controlling long open lines of squares. I am most powerful when I work as a team with my brother Rook, who starts the game at the opposite end of the board from me. If I start on the queen's side, then I am the queen's rook, and my brother would be the king's rook. Pay attention. Because I am going to demonstrate castling, and I am only going to go through it once. If you don't understand, I'll smash you. The ancient Italians viewed the rook as a fortress in which the king could flee for safety when he was threatened. This point of view evolved into the modern system of castling, which can only occur once per player per game. It's the only time a player can move 2 pieces during a single turn, and the only time a king can move more than 1 square per turn. This is a castling maneuver.